Hello my friends, welcome back to Cookie Week. We are on day 2 and I am so excited to share how to make these super simple, grain-free and vegan raspberry thumbprint cookies. These are a classic holiday cookie, and I actually asked people on Instagram which holiday cookies they wanted to see. This was the #1 requested, so I am super excited to share a healthy version with you. The base is, like I mentioned, a grain-free cookie, and then we are actually going to be making a homemade raspberry chia seed jam for the center. So these cookies couldn't be easier to make. I think you guys are going to love them. As always, the full recipe is in the description box below, so you can get that over on my blog. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I would love for you to come join us here on YouTube. If you join today, that means you won't miss another one of our Cookie Week videos. We have 3 more recipes coming for you, and I can't wait. So let's go ahead and dive into today's recipe. For this recipe, we are going to start by making the chia seed jam. We will just add a bag of frozen raspberries, which is about 2½ cups, into a small saucepan, along with some maple syrup, chia seeds, and some vanilla powder. If you don't have vanilla powder, you could use vanilla extract. And then we're just going to stir this together and bring it to a low simmer and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Really what we're trying to do is just evaporate some of the liquid and juices. So simmering it for about 10 to 15 minutes is fine. And then you can remove it from the heat and let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes to let it firm up. If you want it to firm up even further, I suggest putting it in the fridge, and that will help make it even thicker. Then we will go on to our cookies. For our cookies, we are going to start by adding cashew butter into a large bowl, followed by some coconut sugar and some maple syrup, and we are going to beat this together with an electric mixer until it is smooth and creamy and fluffy. Then we can add in our flaxseed egg, as well as some vanilla extract, and again, just beat it together until it's smooth. Then we will add in our coconut flour, our baking soda, and our sea salt, and then beat this together until it forms a dough. I like to add the coconut flour in batches, and after the second batch, I like to fold it all together with a spatula. I find that this method is easier, but go with whatever one is easier for you. And really the consistency we want is a thick dough that we can roll between our hands. Then we will just scoop out about a tablespoon worth of dough and place it in your hands and then roll it into balls, and then place these balls onto a baking sheet. Once you have used up all the dough, you can just use your thumb to literally put a thumbprint in the center of each of the balls, and you can just kind of form them around with your hands a little bit if they fall out of shape. And then we are going to bake these cookies at 350 degrees for 9 to 10 minutes. We'll just want to remove them from the oven and let them cool for about 10 minutes before we add in our raspberry jam. I add about a teaspoon of raspberry jam onto each cookie and just use a little spoon to do that. And then you can just let them cool completely, and as they cool, the raspberry jam should firm up even more, so it won't be drippy like it is in these photos. And then I also want to just show you the consistency of this jam. It is so awesome. Even if you don't want to make these cookies, I highly recommend you make this jam because it is so delicious. And there are your gorgeous, healthy, vegan, grain-free raspberry thumbprint cookies. And there you have it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make these healthy raspberry thumbprint cookies. As you can see, they are so easy to make. And if you haven't tried chia seed jam yet, you are going to love it. It is one of those staples that I always have on hand, and it's great for sandwiches, toast, you name it. And it is super healthy, and of course, it's refined sugar-free, which is awesome. If you do end up making these raspberry thumbprint cookies, I would love to see a photo on Instagram. You can tag me at Simply Quinoa, and this week I'm recommending that you use the hashtag #SQCookieWeek. That will just help me easily find your cookie photos, give you a little bit of like, and show you some love in return. Of course, like I mentioned in the beginning, the full recipe is over on my blog today, so you can tap that link that is in the description box below, head on over to my blog, get the full instructions, everything like that. And I can't wait to see your recreations. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow with a chocolate cookie recipe. So make sure to tune in to that, and I will see you then. Bye, guys.